Um, I'm gonna make the video on a bunch of different topics. So, when it comes to lifestyle choices, I'll make you can focus on the present moment, or you can focus on the past or future. The present moment, that's kind of a difficult thing because a lot of people can focus on that. So I think I'm gonna discuss hierarchical, cliquey, versus inclusive. Now, um, inclusivity, you know, is something that seems very recent, especially because in the past there has been a lot of, you know, um, but and hierarchy is often, there's a hierarchy on social classes. You However, when a person decides to make a lifestyle choice, you know, this is a decision they can make to themselves. So you could have an emphasis on speech patterns versus other things. Now, let's see. You can focus on the deaf or the breath. So, often it's like, what does that mean? Focus on the deaf or the breath? I'm not sure because I do like examples. But for example, religion choice. You can focus on your actions or the beliefs of it. Now, there's nothing wrong with formality, a series of guidelines. Without that, I mean, it would be like lack of examples, but there's a reason for the formality. For example, values you have affect the choices you make. So, the thing is, there needs to be order. That's one of the reasons certain religions are, for example, the Catholic Church and the Sunni and Shia Islam faith, Judaism, Orthodox versus. You get the point. There's a reason why these religions have a lot of people. Catholicism, Protestantism. There's a lot of people. Mormon. There's a ton of people in these religions. There's a reason for that. The reason is simply, there's a reason why the latter is important. You can't have everyone discussing deep conversations all the time. There has to be some order to some people, right? So, series of, you can't. So, like for example, for hierarchy versus inclusive, you can't be inclusive to everyone, right? A private school is only going to have one or two scholarship students. For what else I can think of? Some neighborhoods will have only rich people, and some neighborhoods would not. There's some order here, rather than having a ton of chaos. So let's see. When it comes to lifestyle choices, focusing only on the present moment will make it difficult to plan things, right? There is a reason why there is museums. There's a reason why the internet exists, with all the stuff stored. There's a reason for existence of libraries and universities, because there is some focus on the past. There is a reason why, for the present moment, why certain rituals exist. There's a reason, but there's a reason why you can't just be you can let's see what else. Research conclusions. Some on Quora and some on other websites. Much stuff on the afterlife is sugarcoated. I've read some stuff and it's like, no, there's some depth in it. Some explanations I could not find elsewhere. It's just that, there's a lot of people do varying things, and sometimes, in certain altered states of consciousness, certain things cannot be fully, once you're back to normal. Let's see. Oh, the million floor skyscraper. See, most skyscrapers have up to like several dozen floors, but a million floor, that's the thing. I mean, like, you don't access these floors by stairs or elevator. You cannot meet that many people. I read something where the average person could have maybe 150 people in their network, right? You count family members, maybe it's 155. But there's no status. When I did some research on the afterlife, right? The status, is something that is a concept we learned, in recent civilization. I mean, there is status in ancient civilizations. But I just couldn't imagine a life without all these inventions that are convenient to us. But instead of discussing things like a religious spiritual guru, let's see, temporary things, money, car, house, right? Death is something one can fear, but it's not in people's immediate thoughts. For example, you cannot see a virus, right? Virus is very tiny. You cannot see a virus. You can see someone that has a gun, immediately realize that's a threat, right? One of the reasons why wars, there's like a ton of things on war, and then we see that. But again, we cannot see viruses, which is why the COVID virus 5 years ago has certainly, like, you can't see the COVID virus, but you could see someone having the symptoms of COVID. You can't see the virus. It's one of the reasons why it was able to have so many cases globally, right? Because you can't see it, right? Let's see. The effectiveness of marketing and advertising. These employees have completed college degrees, so they understand what gets a person to purchase a product. Should be easy, not difficult. Say the valuable lessons can be learned by difficulty. So, let's see. The thing with temporary things is, I've noticed that, eyeglasses that are for farsighted people are very inexpensive, right? I've seen many groceries sell these eyeglasses that are for farsighted, which is a hyperopia, for not being able to see things like close to you, having it blurred, and those are less expensive, or can be found for purchase. Let's see, the effective Myers-Briggs typology indicator. Let's see, extrovert intuition often misses opportunities and fails to see the obvious. Extrovert thinking often fails to connect with others that are not the Reddit echo chamber. So, echo chamber effect of certain communities is basically one person has an idea that another person agrees with, and then there's a third person that agrees with the exact same thing, and it gets to a point where most of the people in the subreddit, minus maybe a few people, which is like 99%, will have the same exact viewpoint. I see this a lot it can affect things. And part of the reason is because we focus a lot on the temporary things. Money, car, house, right? Or apartment, or expensive $2,000 a month apartment, right? The effectiveness of, that's the thing. Like, I've seen when I browse through the grocery stores, when I visit airports, when I visit, you know, these places, I've noticed the effects of the marketing and advertising. It really gets a person to spend a lot of money on these expensive things. It's just the reason why extrovert intuition often misses opportunities and fails to see the obvious. I'm not so sure why that is. I think it's something that um, I'm not so sure. I have present all these ideas, but I haven't been able to adequately, weave the ideas to form something that's, these are great ideas that I've listed, but not much. You can see that it doesn't really connect that much, right? Like how does a choice between being cliquey versus inclusive, or focusing on the emphasis on speech patterns, how does the values and interpretation, how does that connect to extrovert intuition or extrovert thinking? Right? It doesn't affect much. I listed these ideas, and it's just, I haven't, and like, for example, one can have a premise on something, and it's like, oh, that premise has to be correct. Let's see. It can seem like I am preaching, but I'm not. Actually, much of the, the reason why so many religions succeed is because there's always someone who understands. But the thing is, I've seen these echo chamber effects in a lot of different places. The reason for it is, when presented with a different perspective that is contrary to, like, it can be very, difficult. I guess part of the reason is, that I'm not sure, because, war is something that's a little difficult for me to understand personally, because, the United States doesn't, we have not been attacked on our soil, for a long time. I don't think Hawaii counts in World War II, right? Because, last time the United States had been attacked on our soil is at least a few hundred years ago, and I couldn't tell, what year exactly that is, but the effect of Myers-Briggs, like, I think extrovert intuition, is a very unusual thing, during long periods of peace and prosperity. I think part of the reason extrovert intuition, extrovert thinking, creates these echo chamber effects is because they're designed, these functions are very useful for survival. But in long terms of peace, like, these are important for the brain to survive, but its effect we have, again, money, car, house, right? We have to use these, things, these functions or whatever, that is supposed to be useful for survival, now being used for, basically, in effect, creating all these, it can lead to world records. So it's like you have a certain task that you're supposed to complete. For example, if you're an employee in the marketing and advertising department, you know,